Hello everyone, this is Meg at Chasing Retro, and at long last I have a flip through of these Sesame Street themed junk journals. I have 10 of them to show you. 6 of them are reserved. I will tell you exactly which ones those are, and 4 will be available in my Etsy shop. Alternatively, if you see one of the 4 that you like that's available and you would like to purchase with a PayPal invoice, please send me an email at chasingretro78@gmail.com and I will send you a PayPal invoice instead. I'm happy to do either. I also ship internationally, but only through Etsy. It just makes it easier with the shipping labels and the custom forms. So if you are not in the USA and would like one of these, I will let Etsy handle the tallying of the postage price. The prices of these are still not determined 100%. I will be letting the reservees know the total and listing them in my shop. But as for the rest of them that will be available, if I do not hear from anyone before tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they will go into my shop and they will be priced and ready to go. All right, so I'm going to start with 3 large ones, and then I'm going to do a separate video with the 5 little golden books, and then the last video will have 2 smaller Whitman's Tell-a-Tale journals. I think that's the easiest way to split them up. All right, here is the first one. Oh, this is not going to fit on the... Okay, this is as good as I can get with the stand that I have to work with. I don't know that I've ever shown a journal this large on camera. This one is reserved, and it measures 11 3/8 by 8 3/4. All of them have a 2-inch spine. All of them have 2 signatures, and I want to say that there are 16 or 17 pages in each signature. I could be a little off on that. They all will have a tassel, except for the ring-bound journal that is one of the small ones. And the tassel on this one is not removable because it's the ring that's in the book. But I used this amazing fiber yarn to make the tassel. All of the tassels I wanted to appear very Muppet-like. And you know, different Muppets have different types of fur. So this is the one that I chose for this cover. All of them are tied with some sort of fabric or trim or ribbon. This one is tied with a piece of vintage striped, it might even be upholstery fabric. All of the journals will also come with a bookmark that has been specially made for that journal. The bookmarks are very beaded. There's some cut straws on here as well that I found at a thrift store. Some of them have various words spelled out with letter beads, and all of them will have one of these vintage plastic letters. This is just a laminated piece of book page, and it is a bit floppy until you put it in the book, but my laminator doesn't handle super thick things very well, so as long as you tuck it all the way in, it does not bow out, and it becomes a beautiful piece of charm jewelry for your journal. I'll go ahead and remove that for showing. There are a couple of surprises in here that I haven't shown yet, and also every journal will be shipped with a rubber ducky in honor of Ernie. So I'll probably just stick him under the tie on the top. Okay. So this one, not all of them have an interior front page pocket. This one did because I ended up having the cover over the original paper, so I wanted to dress it up a little. This is made out of felt with a little ruffle and some rickrack. And all of the journals also will have one card that has been embellished with actual googly eyes. So fun. And this is just, so all of the things in here, all of the cards and the large images are from vintage Sesame Street books, magazines, other type of ephemera. The only digitals that are in here are some of the backgrounds are digitals, but not many. These books are very, very much sourced from real vintage material. We have a double pocket here with Sherlock Hemlock as a decoration. This is just a very thick, I want to say it's a memory game card of Ernie. And then I did some mixed media acrylic stamped tags. And this is one of them. This is one of the images from one of the vintage Sesame Street magazines. Okay, so another surprise is on the back of on the back of probably anywhere from 6 to 10, probably closer to 10 in each journal. On the back, hidden on the back of tags and cards, will be a QR code. And I have sort of hidden Easter egg gem type links of some of my favorite Sesame Street videos, trivia, fact pages, links to online games, stuff like that, just to make this interactive. I wanted to make this as fun and interactive and nostalgic as possible. If you're not big on QR codes and don't want to scan them, that's fine. I promise I didn't put any weird links on there. I checked them all. I had my husband check them all. And I tried to pick things too that would have long-lasting web addresses so it wouldn't be a broken link anytime soon. There's another one on the back of here. I believe this one has the Cookie Monster sugar cookie recipe, which you are going to want to try. It's my favorite. Here is a large tuck spot with Grover and I don't remember. This might be Prairie Dawn. I get Prairie Dawn and Betty Lou mixed up. This is just a Good Character Award certificate. This is some vintage ledger. And I made it into a pocket, and here's Cookie adorning it. And there's a quote from one of his songs. This is a Braillard. I Braillered this with acrylic and then put Ernie on here. And the back is just some cardstock that I found at Walmart. There are several vintage Sesame Street flashcards in these. There are some full pages from some of the vintage books. Here is a little cutout of Ernie. Here's another tuck spot with a count. He has confetti all around him. And then I pulled the quote from that book where he's counting the confetti. This is tissue paper that I put down here and then stitched around. There's another QR code from another book with Grover. The larger ones, I guess you could use more of a glue book. There's lots of pages to stick more things down. Here's some washi tape and a little tag. I reinforced this page joining with some washi. This is one of the pages from another Sesame Street book that had the countdown in it. I decorated this with Big Bird. Here we have a library pocket made from a book page. My husband actually did this with gouache paint. And then this is a fabric Ernie. And then here we have a journaling card and a coloring sheet. I'm not going to show the backs of all of them because I want the recipient to be able to find the QR codes on their own. It's kind of a treasure hunt. Rubber ducky song with a fabric tab. I sewed around the edge of some of the pages with variegated thread. This is an envelope I've been holding on to for a while. I put one in as many journals as I could. And then in here is a journaling card with Bert. Each journal also has a shaker card. And I used some lettered confetti. This is from a Sesame Street magazine as well. Little parking meter here. This is vintage gift wrap backing this cardstock. This page folds out like an accordion fold. Lots of room for journaling or gluing. There's a side pocket pair here with 2 tags. Whenever there was a rip in one of the pages, I covered it with washi tape if I could. Fabric ruffle. Another embellishment with another quote that I typed out. Belly band. So each journal will also have a little page from a 40 Years on Sesame Street book that I had in my stash. And each one will also come with a paint by number sheet. So there's activities throughout. Some vintage ribbon, a little journaling card and a ticket. This is an actual front cover and back cover of a shape book. Okay, we have a flashcard with radar, Big Bird's teddy bear, a ticket. Each one I tried to tuck in a felt letter. It has adhesive backing, and some of them have stickers. I didn't have enough stickers for all journals, but some of them do. This is, so the back of each magazine that I had a little game that you can cut out, and I put little game pieces throughout all of these. Fabric tag and another image from the magazine. So the people who reserved these journals, I tried to incorporate their initials whenever I could, or their first initial, and it kind of played in with the alphabet theme from Sesame Street, so I put a bunch of S's down this strip. Here is another coloring page. This is a bulletin board hologram letter that I backed with cardstock for journaling and sewed around. A little note page. Each journal has a clear pocket. I think this is a vinyl clear with a little embellishment on the front, and then a super large journaling card from the cover of a book. A fabric pocket. Guy smiley. And each journal will have one of these Fix-It Shop tags that I created for Louis Fix-It Shop on Sesame Street. A little cluster here. Here's one of our hand-painted Yip Yips. And one of the felt-pieced journaling cards. Each journal will each have one of these. Also, this is a vintage crib sheet that I cut around and made into journaling cards. There's different scenes on the sheet, and this is from a master board that I created. Here is Big Bird as a tuck spot, and then there's an Oscar card. This is a Rita Flip journaling spot. Here's another piece of ephemera that I created. It's a sales slip from Mr. Hooper's store. Thought that was really fun. Another flashcard. Vintage wallpaper. Pseudo vintage, I guess, like maybe 5-6 years old. So some of them have little notepads that I stitched in. This is the cover of one of the magazines. It had a big rip out of it, maybe where someone had taken their address out, so I just patched it with paper. Here's a cluster with a button. This is the decoupage napkin pocket and a flashcard, and each journal will be a Big Bird feather. Rickrack on this page. This is moving paper. Fabric tab. The center of this signature has a full page spread of one of the encyclopedias. Here's the little car from one of the books where they're all in the car together. Here's another one of those little game pieces. Journaling card. Little Oscar and Slimy, sorry. I say Slimy all the time. This was interesting. Here's O.J. Simpson on the back of the Sesame Street magazine advertising the electric company, which I also loved. I wish I had ephemera to make an electric company journal as well. Here's a fabric flip. Here's a belly band with a journaling card and a vintage moving announcement. On this side, we have an envelope made of a book page and a journaling card inside. And then we have a very large journaling card. Another surprise that I kept under wraps was I made Ernie shirts, and they are full journaling cards. I had found this fabric at my reuse store in the scrap bin and said, well, it's not the exact colors, but that certainly does look like a shirt that Ernie would wear, and it's even the vintage stretch knit. So that was really fun to do. There's Mr. Hooper down here. Side pocket with a vintage fabric tag, flash card, and a vintage wallpaper card. Two pockets on this page with a journaling card and a bulletin board letter. Each journal will have a card with a rubber ducky brad in it, or eyelet, I guess. And each one will also have a miniature TV with a scene from Sesame Street. And there's journaling space on the back. And this is a dry cleaning ticket. And the last page is Grover. If you don't know what this is, you will after you scan this QR code. And another journaling card. And here is Ernie. So this was just glued onto the back page. In the back, this is, I left the cover as is. I cleaned it, of course, but some of this is just love and age. It's one of those fabric type library bindings. And I could not have made this journal without Maddy from Madeline DeEtte Designs. Thank you, Maddy, for this book. It was perfect for the glue book. And I hope the customer will love it and have many years journaling inside of it. All right, next one. This one is also reserved. This one is loosely Snuffleupagus themed. 2 inches again. It has one of these rainbow looped tassels, and it measures 10 3/8 by 7 3/4, 2-inch spine. Same number of pages as before, roughly 16, 17 per signature, if I'm remembering right. It's been almost a month since I put the pages in. This was wired ribbon, but I took the wire out. And this one also has a bookmark. We have Big Bird on this one. And it says, oh boy, and gee whiz, and it shows how tall he is, 8 feet 2 inches. This one turned out really cute with lots of pink and orange. Oh, and I tried to recreate his legs by doing the color beads like that. This one had a beautiful interior, so I left it as it was. Here's a button cluster on this pocket. Little journaling card, vintage fabric tag, and the little TV. Here is a jumbo Snuffleupagus journaling card that's sewn around, and another one of the tissue paper tags. A belly band with the certificate, coloring page, and one of the history book pages. This was hilarious to me, and it had Snuffy like being hoisted up on a crane or whatever. I just had to put that in here. There's Snuffy again in his little cave. Bert and Ernie and Big Bird at the zoo. Here's a large S made out of one of those felt letters. A Braillard card with Guy Smiley and a quote. One of the pages from the Count Shape book, which was very colorful. Probably the most colorful book I used. A quote from Ernie here. A large pocket made of a book page. There are QR codes in here too, but I'm not going to show them. But if you want to see what they look like, you can rewind to the first journal I showed. Embellishment there. Here's a fabric cookie with some fabric strips and two flash card and a journaling card. We have a center pocket with a little cookie monster there. This is one of the game cards. It has a back and front. Coloring page. It's being temperamental today. I don't want to wrinkle it. Fabric tag. Paper card with Ernie and an airplane. This one has a lot of sequins in it, I just noticed. And a picture from a Big Bird book. Here's Snuffy talking on the telephone, and it flips up to reveal a pocket. And here's Cookie. This tassel was something else. Here's a little fabric cluster, washi tape, a tag and a journaling card, Big Bird's little friend. I guess it's Little Bird. This flips out, and then in here we have a Yip Yip and a color by number page. Large journaling card on this side. Some of the journals have a phone book page from the late 60s, and I just figured these are the people in your neighborhood, so I had to put that in there. Big Bird feather. This is an image of the very first season's Big Bird, who had a much smaller head. Flash card and a cluster with a little felt S. Large journaling card, a little memo sheet, and a chipboard. I'm not sure what this is, but it has a little hole in it. I thought the owner would like to use it in some fun way, so I just dropped it in there. This is an interdepartmental mail envelope. I don't think I said that in the first journal. A fabric pocket. I found this at the craft reuse store, and you'll see later. I actually cut some of this apart and used this part as ties. Journaling card. I ordered these invitations off of eBay, and look, y'all, they're trifold. So adorable. Here's the vinyl pocket with 2 more journaling cards. Little sticker sheet. Fix-it tag. I put a little fabric on this pocket because this kept getting hung on this pocket. It was snagging it, so I protected it. little ruffle there with paper. Here's Ernie's shirt and the bread, milk, and butter. Special, this is probably my favorite addition to each journal. This is from one of the Sesame Street magazine covers. So this book, let me show you. Each journal will have several pages from these. These are landscape books and they're very old. So eventually I'm keeping the covers. I will probably make more journals at some point with these. Landscape journals are a little more challenging to make, but still fun. But I just love the covers. So that's where these come from. Those are an eBay find also. Here are 2 tags. A braided page, washi tape, wallpaper with a tab, songbook sheet, a quote from Oscar, a crayon envelope with a journaling card, coloring page, library pocket with a tag, and a flashcard. This one makes me laugh. These whole books make me laugh. They've been such a joy to work on. They really have. Fabric cluster, Cooper's store sales slip, and a journaling card. And then here we have a journaling card with the googly eyes on telly and a dry cleaning tag. And then over here we have a side pocket with one of the crib sheet cards and another journaling card. Decoupage napkin pocket. Snuffleupagus pocket. Master board card. Carrie the paper monkey sent me this bulletin board border and I cut it up and used it several times. Here's one of my felt pieced cards. This is bulletin board border. 2 more journaling cards. Little Kermit being pensive down there. Here's a book page envelope. The journaling card. And this page flips out also. Ruffle. Flashcard. Ducky. Wallpaper. And a little pocket here with a little letter, a little ticket, a felt letter, and a little game piece. And that's it. That is the second reserve journal. Now, let me show you the one that will be in my shop up for grabs for whoever gets it first. This is the same size. It's a book club by Sesame Street and it's called There's No Place Like Home. And it is just so pretty. So many rich colors in this one. Some of my favorite fabric ever is on the spine. And the back just has an empty nest. Another one of the loop tassels. The bookmark for this one has Cookie sitting in his masterpiece chair. And then it says nom nom and Cookie. And a little cookie. It's probably bread, but we're gonna call it a cookie. It looks kind of like shortbread. And a little C. And it's tied with vintage trim that I found at my reuse store. When you cut this kind of trim, it starts to unravel. So I sewed a little piece of fabric in a sort of belt style to make it secure. This one measures the same. It's roughly 10.5 by 7 3/4. I left the inside also. A double pocket with telly. Coupons. Y'all remember the guy that tried to sell Ernie numbers on the street? And then fabric, Big Bird, journaling card. Some of the journaling cards are backed with file folder and some are backed with brightly colored cardstock. Some of the colors that are darker and richer, you may have to use a metallic or white pen. Here's the certificate, wallpaper card, Braillard card with a little scene. Here's Grover swinging on a tire. Ledger, Tweedlebugs shaped book page, coloring page, and a large journaling card. Oops, let me move this up. Sorry about that. This is vintage gift wrap, song sheet. This is from Cookie Monster Circle Book. Masterboard card and another journaling card. You can see Hooper's store right there very clearly. Coloring page. This is from a vintage coloring book that someone sent me in Happy Mail, so authentic. I think each book has one of those. This is crib sheet card and a tag. So if you're wondering what's happening here, there are some images out of books that say silly images or think, you know, which one of these things is not right. So if you see somebody, like, I think in one image Bert is milking a pig, that's what it is. It's just nonsensical fun. A flash card and a journaling card with Grover and Mumford. It's Mumford, right? The magician. And a library pocket. Here's the famous Jim Henson with his Kermit. A quote. This is, I think, the first line that Gordon said on the very first Sesame Street. It's pretty cool to find that. Paper strip, journaling card, Hooper's store, and one of the history sheets. Here I clipped one of those chipboard pieces and a fabric tag with a clothespin. Two journaling cards, very large journaling cards in these bigger books. There's Carrie. It's a flash card and a TV. Fabric pocket. Got some photos. This picture makes me laugh. Betty Lou has that expression a lot, I've learned. A vinyl clear pocket. One of those game cards. Fix It Shop tag. Journaling card. Flashcard, Mumford. I like this caricature version. And this is from a retro-esque Sesame Street calendar that I found early this year. And the colors are just amazing. So some of those images are in these. I love this stylized art right here. This is Bob, I think. A felt letter and a flashcard. Felt letter E. Here's the Yip Yip. A card from one of the books, encyclopedia actually, and one of the storybook cards. bric rack, fabric ruffle, a felt pieced Ernie. This is wallpaper, believe it or not. It looks like bricks. Here's a large pocket with Snuffy and Big Bird, and inside is a card made from the cover of the book. Here's one of those trifold invites and a fabric tag. There's that guy, that sneaky guy. A mixed media tag and 2 journaling cards. Here's a little half pocket with the cluster, and here's Ernie's shirt and Big Bird feather. Christmas Snuffy. Coloring page in the middle. Large journaling card with the googly eyes on Cookie. This was on the back of the Paint with Water book. You can cut him out and stand him up with this little stand. Here's a little submarine with some characters in it. Elmo did make it in a few times, so if you're an Elmo fan, but not always. He's kind of sparse in these because we were trying to be vintage and retro. Here's a journaling card with Bert, with his worried expression. This is a large tuck spot with a journaling card and Paint with Water and coloring page. Felt letters. Bert hiding behind the waste paper basket. Oh, this flips out, and there's Grover here too, and it's just a blank card. Fabric tab. Bulletin board letter, journaling card, and an envelope with sheet music, and here is Oscar inside. And the back was pretty cool too. It was an ad for Children's Television Workshop. All right, you guys, this is the one that will be available tonight in my shop at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. If this one interests you, with the bookmark and the rubber ducky, which they will all receive. Thanks for watching. Please stay tuned. The little golden books will be in a separate video, as well as the Telltales.